Welcome. Come follow me. This is where my colleague sits. He's the actual site supervisor. So I make work for him. I need the phone in my job. I really do. Yeah, I just want to show off a little bit. Some awards that I've gotten. 2017, as you can see, thanks to U-Turn. Thank you very much, U-Turn. Thanks for coming through. My name is Brenden, spelled with the E-N. Brenden Steve Elton McDonald. I'm from Durban. I was born in Addington Hospital, so less than 200 meters away from the beach. I stayed with my mom my whole life. Up until I was 10, it was just me and her. She had a bit of an abusive relationship there. Even my conception wasn't really a very nice one. So growing up, I suppose my childhood is where a lot of my problems actually would have started, or my challenges in my life, because my dad was never there and he had taken advantage of my mom, so I was always a reminder. And growing up, I was always reminded, you know, it's not her fault now. We've resolved everything and there's been forgiveness, but my mom always used to point out to me in fits of anger and frustration that I was the cause of her not attaining her dreams and her goals, because she had chosen to keep me as opposed to aborting me. Once I left home, I stayed on top of a club in Umbilo called Dusk Till Dawn. And Dusk Till Dawn had two sections and there was a lot of drugs and stuff going on. And one day I remember somebody coming up to me and saying, listen, can't I just park off over here, man? And he took out the substance that eventually became my substance of choice, which was crack cocaine. And he used it and he offered me, and it was awesome. It was really, it's crack is a cocaine derivative, which you smoke in a certain way, and it was fantastic. It felt very nice, and I completely forgot about it until like maybe a year later or so, when I then came across it. I can't remember how, but that became, I then started using it recreationally, and then eventually it's even called on the street Eat Some More, where one is just never enough. And that's where it started. All the deficiencies in my character started coming out. I would do almost anything. Doesn't matter who you were, you know, I would charm my way and break a lot of trust, steal things from work, you know, and that's how I got into trouble. I always felt undone. I thought God was being unfair to me, that people would take advantage of me, and I felt that I was, in essence, a good person. Always trying to please, always service oriented, always looking out for others, but no one was there for me. And I actually started using drugs because I got angry with God. If being a good person is going to make me always be last, I'm going to be really good at being really bad. So 2011, 2012 or so, they found me. Myself being directed to the Haven Night Shelter. And I got to the shelter and I spoke to the supervisor. I told him I'm homeless, and he said, "Who gives you the right to say you're homeless when I don't have a home?" And they wouldn't give me an opportunity at all. And I went down to the waterfront, and as God would have it, I actually found a job. And you know, I stayed clean for quite a long while, and then eventually old habits came out. And then I also got a bit too big for my boots, and I managed to get a place further down in Sea Point, Cape Town, haven of drugs. And I fell back into that. I would habitually lose my work because of the drugs. And I said, dear God, I'm tired of this. I'm gonna leave now, and you're gonna guide my steps. And I walked instead, in my mind was saying, go to a restaurant, go to a cafe, try to find a job, and I said no. And I found social services in Victoria Street across from the gardens. went and I asked a social worker, I need help. I need to go to a place where I can come clean. They called the Ark City of Refuge, and they said there is a place for one person. They took me, and I ended up at the Ark City of Refuge. My favorite story is that story of Joseph. He went up, he went down, he went up, he went down. You need to go through what you're going through now. Thing that they have is that you have to attend. There's this organization called U-Turn, and all our staff foremen, once a week or twice a week, you actually have to go. That was fun. You know, we did an amazing race while we were at U-Turn. They asked us lots of questions. They taught us about budgeting. They would ask us to do things like, if you've got 20 Rand, how would you buy a healthy, nutritious meal? U-Turn, they contacted me and said, okay, Brenden, you know, would you like to join into the program? I said, yes, I want to join. With that occupational therapist, she was able to help me identify where the strengths and weaknesses and where I needed to develop, you know. And here I was, the selfish drug addict, living only for himself. And now God decided that He's going to give me a challenge that will help me grow. It is tough. I did have the feeling that this is way too much. They are totally unreasonable. The biggest lesson, practical lesson that U-Turn has taught me is that, number one, you don't always have to be right. And even when you are right, you need to be able to realize that another person might not be on your level. In a nutshell, my job secondly is I find good, reliable, competent people, workers of different types of category or what I'd like to think of, forward-thinking, progressive and successful companies. Vote for me and not the ANC, because I actually do give people jobs. Sometimes I drive and I'll bump into someone and they'll actually know me from being out on the street. There's another guy that was homeless with me that is working just down the road here, you know, and he was like, yo, you're a big boss now. And I'm able to tell them, look at, guys, you know what, it is possible, you know. You don't have to be perfect, but it is possible. My advice for any person that feels they want to drop out is, number one, just look at where I am now. I'm in a position to actually give people jobs. You're going to be in a position to actually affect another person's life. The other thing is maybe to convince yourself or to tell yourself in the mirror, I'm in this situation because of nobody else but myself. Open your eyes and see that the person that is trying to help you and give you this advice that wants nothing from you except for us to grow. Give what you give unto the Lord. Give what you give it unto the Lord.